Morning everybody, Saturday morning. Herbert Robert William Hennis here, aka Owen Reed. Like and subscribe on my channel there, That Old Guy Australia. Please, helps out. You know, this is really what an interesting video to do. I'll probably cop a bit of flack for this, but anyway. I stopped and talked to a mate the other day coming home from work, and on the edge of the road, a couple of tradies, old tradies, Mick, having a chat, and we mentioned the fact that I get up at some godforsaken hour of the morning, 3 or 4 in the morning. I'll wake up and I'll have anything from, I don't know, 20 or 30 to 150 messages every day, articles to read and stuff to go and research, and videos to watch and audio to listen to, whatever might be the case. And I can't get to it all, and I don't mean to be rude to anybody. I try to sort through it and just pick out what I can. And but I was talking to Mick, and I said, look, I get up in the morning and I see something and I go, oh well, I'll do a video on that this afternoon, and during the day I get more messages and stuff, like we all do. And by the time I get home in the afternoon, whatever I thought about in the morning is gone. There's new stuff, something changed, this has changed, that's changed. And I'm like, oh God, it's like this never-ending assault. And really that's what a psychological operation is, like a psyop on society. It's just this assault of the senses. If it's not on TV, it's on radio. If it's not on radio, it's on social media. If it's not on social media, it's in the universe. It's all around us, And I can understand why I constantly read comments from people who go, I'm depressed, I'm anxious, nervous, fearful, scared, frightened, discombobulated. Yeah, discombobulated. And I get it. I really do. I get it, because there's so much happening, and it's just a constant thing. And that's how they keep up the pressure on people, is to do this. It's just to keep it going, constantly moving it, changing the goalposts, moving the bloody, the goalposts around so no one knows where they stand, and people are just getting sick of it, worn down. And really that's the goal. Whether you know that or not, or whether you acknowledge it or not, or whether you believe it or not, that's the goal. And the end goal being we just cave in when they bring in the removal of our currency, because we're operating, as we know, on a fiat currency, which is basically a value that's given by the government. It's not a gold-based value. It used to be gold-based. All currency was all gold-based. Now it's no longer gold-based. It hasn't been since the 70s. And we've moved 2/3 of our gold reserves to England. You can Google that, check it out. It's gone to England. We've moved it out of Australia. So we're a fiat currency. We're operating on whatever the government determines as the value. And it's a false economy all over the world. And we're $3 trillion in debt now. $3 trillion. It's a sum we never heard. We've got Scott Morrison, a false prime minister who's not really a prime minister of the constitutional country called Australia. He's the head of the corporation, the Australia Corporation. I swear that's not some conspiracy theory. That's true. You can believe whatever the fuck you want. I don't really care. Sorry. But it's true. And he's coming out saying, oh, the economy's booming and this is going to happen and that's going to happen. Mate, we're so fucking far in debt. We're never going to get out of our debt. Our kids are going to be in debt. There's no way out of this. The interest alone, we can't even pay. We know that. And that's the goal of the whole fucking thing, is to get everybody so far in debt, and every country so far in debt, that one day the Prime Minister will address the national emergency broadcast. He'll come and address it and say, look, we're at it. We're so far in debt, we can't get out of debt. We've tried to get out of debt. We've got another variant. We're locking down where this is, it's just endless. We can see we don't know exactly how it's going to happen, but we see what's coming. We know how it's going to work out. And then the entire world will be offered a chance through the United Nations and the WHO, Federal Reserve banks, which aren't even Australian Federal Reserve, isn't. We know who owns them. They're not even owned by Australia or America. They're one in every country pretty much. All the monetary funds, they'll all come out and say, look, we have to get rid of this debt. We've got to start again. We've got to reset. We have to. There's no choice. People can't pay this debt off. The country's burdened by debt. Every country's burdened by debt. Germany, Spain, England, America. America's so far in debt, it's ridiculous. They're printing money for the sake of printing money. But there's no money. It's a paper trail. It's just figures on paper. That's what fiat currency is. You know, that's why they got rid of the gold standard. I mean, conspiracy theories have been talking about this for decades and nobody's taken a bit of fucking notice. You just haven't. You just think we're nut jobs, we're idiots. Oh, there's that fucking idiot Owen Reed. Whatever. You know? Seriously. You're not paying attention. I'm sick of telling people. I'm over telling people. I'm just... You know, people by and large are just fucking dumb. They're just dumb. And if they're not dumb, they're scared dumb. They don't want to know. They don't want to know. It rocks their little world, rocks their boat. You know, they just want to go to IGA and buy groceries, and they want to fucking go and play golf, and they want to go and hang out with their friends and have a barbecue. They want to go fishing on the weekend, and they want to take the kids to soccer. Not interested in anything else. You know, they're not. They're earning their 25, 40 bucks an hour, whatever it is, and they think that's good, that's really good. Not understanding we're still we're still serfs. We're still operating in a serfdom. It's just we're earning all the currency for the really, really rich. That's what we're doing. All our money goes out of the country. All our tax dollars goes out of the country. We just borrow and borrow and borrow, and no one even fucking asks. I talk to people. No one even, you know, so where do you think we're getting this money from? Where do you think this money's coming from? You know, we just ordered 129 million doses of fucking injections. They're not vaccines. We know that. 129 million doses. That's enough. Well, that gives you 7 per person. So, and you already had 2, so that's 9. Well, wait, it's pointless saying wake up. You fucking dumb sheep. You're just fucking dumb sheep. You know, that's true. It's really true. I can't put it any differently. And I wish it were, but, you know, even my friends are just fucking idiots. I shake my head in disbelief. Sitting with a couple of mates yesterday having a beer in there, and I just can't see how people can't figure this out. Look, if you just peered to the edge of the flat earth and looked over the edge, you go, oh, an abyss. Oh, that's where we're going. But they don't. They don't want to do it. You know, a million march for Australia, you know, these groups that we got organised, and it's great. And it started off as a grassroots organisation. There's millions involved in this. 150,000 in Sydney last weekend, 400,000 down Melbourne. That's insane. But what's achieved? What's achieved? I mean, Sydney was like a rah-rah festival. I enjoyed it, and to the people who organised it, hats off. I probably couldn't have done it. Maybe I could have. I don't know. Been involved with you. Who knows? If I threw my hat in the ring and stopped sitting on the fence. But then you have 30 speakers. You know, they all got 3 minutes each. They get up, fart, walk off. What do? Then we do a lap of the block. We all march back, sit there, sing a song. Some guy gets up, like David Aneeg. Make some noise, Sydney. Okay, we make some noise. What now? What now? What now? Anyone tell us what's happened? What's happening? What we're supposed to do? I know. We'll sing another song. Australians! Yay! Okay. Come on, we got to G us up. I don't need G'ing up. It's pissing rain, blowing a gale, and I'm here, mate. I don't need G'ing up. You know, I don't need a bloody Tony Robbins event. You know, the key speakers should have had 20 minutes each or 15 minutes each, or ever fucking long. People get up there and don't even know who they are. They're all saying the same thing. Yeah, make some noise, Sydney. Oh. You know, it's great, but it's like a Chinese meal. 30 minutes later, I'm fucking hungry again. I don't understand where this is all going. There's no leaders. And it suddenly struck me. The people who organised this, who founded all this, are great guys. Romeo, Georges, etc., etc. And Jamal. But not Jamal, but people. You know, most of these people are just people. Tradies. Or people. They're just average Aussies. You know? And then they got together and they did a video and a rant like I do. But then one of their videos got 1 million views or whatever the fuck happened. And suddenly they're superstars. You know, and then we look upon them like some kind of idols and heroes. Like, oh, they're going to save our asses. But they're not. They're just people. They've got to this point now where they've done the organising. They've got it all organised. People are involved. Millions of people. And now it's like, what now? Well, I don't know. I don't know. Feel like Jehovah's Witnesses and 144,000 saints getting on a train. They've got 144,001 and they're going, well, what the fuck happens now? Well, I don't know. Well, you have to inherit the earth. You can stay back. We're all on the train. Yes, I digress there. Anyway, it's kind of like that. What are we going to do? Well, I don't know. We need a leader. Who the fuck's a leader? Oh, we get Craig Kelly. Craig Kelly, United Australia Party. 85,000 members going like a train. Biggest political party in Australia. And what happens? On the Sunday, Romeo's into the Cossack and the Cossack's fucking hitting back and having a video about Romeo and saying, oh, I've got to remember, we've all talked, we broke bread and we're mates and I like Romeo. And then Romeo's like, no, you guys are fucking idiots and calling everybody the C word and nobody's apologising and there's this fractions and division amongst people, and then they're doing live shows last night and they're saying Craig Kelly's a liar and he was going to do this and he was going to do that but he's just in bed with Clive Palmer. They're still politicians, that's really all they are, and they're never anything different because, one bird, two wings. So he's done the dirty on Romeo and Romeo's been left out in the cold and he thinks it's a personal attack because Romeo didn't get offered a job and Romeo said, well, that's partly true but not really true. I gave everything to the party and you're supposed to fucking uphold your end of the agreement. Now you've gone and fucked off because you want mining rights. I'm like, they're politicians. I spoke to Craig Kelly for nearly 5 minutes. And look, thank you, Craig, for the time. But you didn't say anything. And I asked you about the Constitution and why, and I've got the video, why Scott Morrison couldn't overrule the premiers, and you waffled on about something about, I've got it there, I'll have to go and read it, something about Florida. You wrote to some bloke in Florida and this and that, and I'm like, And then you say the first order of business. The first order of business is to ensure that Australia never has the vaccine passports. And I'm like, dude, seriously? You think George Soros gives a fuck about Craig Kelly? What? They're going to implement the fucking vaccine passport worldwide. We know it's going to operate in every single country. It's already operating in some countries like France and Germany. And so, George Soros is over there going, oh, listen, with the Bilderbergers and the fuck knows who, going, every country but Australia. Well, how comes that? Oh, because Craig Kelly's not going to allow it. Who the fuck does they think Craig Kelly is? It's not going to happen there. So your first order of business, it's not going to happen, mate. It won't happen. You're inconsequential to this. The big plan doesn't include Craig Kelly. It includes the people. So then we're talking about it and we're saying, well, who's the controlled opposition? And people get hung up on this. Who's the controlled opposition? Who is it? Who do you think it is? Is it Bosie? Is it Craig Kelly? Is it Monica Smith? Is it RDA? Is it fucking who? Romeo? Who is it? And it struck me at 3:30 in the fucking morning. It's us. We're the controlled opposition. We are. Provided we're kept distracted and busy and looking in every friggin' direction and our heads spinning and we're all sending all this information, we're getting censored and banned, blocked, deleted and everything else, but we're finding ways to get through stuff and move around, share this here, share this there, and there's all this stuff coming out. But it's the same stuff. Oh, this doctor's talking about ivermectin, this one's talking about this one's talking about that one's talking about jab, that one's talking about side effects. I've heard this for 2 years. That science is all locked and loaded. It's done. We know that jabs are bullshit. We know Omicron's to cover adverse reactions. We're well aware that's why it's mild. And it's mild because that's what happens with viruses. They burn themselves out. And it's ridiculously rare for a virus to increase in its veracity. It just doesn't happen. It'll burn itself out. Herd immunity happens. I'm sick of this shit. What is wrong with people? It's just got to be stupid. Anyway, people line up for their third and fourth boosters. And I'm like, yeah, well, we just got 129 million doses, so it won't be long to be lined up for your seventh. They said 6 months, but they can't do that. Then they're saying you need it every 3 months or 2 months or whatever the fuck it is. It makes no difference. That's got nothing to do with health and science either. That's got to do with contracts, how many they've signed up for, how many they've bought. How do you think these companies are making this shit? It's a license to print money, and the profits are astronomical. And all the time we're being distracted, just being distracted by all this stuff. And it's all there, and we're being controlled. And we're looking for a leader. We need someone to head these people, to form us into the spearhead, someone to shape us. And we don't know who. We just don't know who. We thought it was going to be Craig Kelly, and he's gone and done the dirty. Preferential voting, apparently, according to Romeo George, his preferences are going to be given to the Liberal Party to do a deal. And I'm like, well, that just sucks. The two-party preferred system has to be dismantled. It can't continue. It's the bane of Australian politics, worldwide politics, when you just have two-party preferential parties, or preferential parties, two of them. You just can't. Only one of them can get into power. You can't have an independent party get into power. They just don't have it. Two-party preferred. And then we have this preference voting, which is just dumb. You know, if this isn't dismantled, and all we're doing is protecting the parties themselves. And who's leading the parties? If they're not pedophiles, they're protecting pedophiles. So we have these governments worldwide that are involved in pedophilia. They're protecting pedophiles. Do you know how hard it was and is to even get a pedophile register in Australia? 40 years of bloody... I'm sick of telling people about it. Just sick of it. I'm sick of the whole thing. You know, you dumbasses. Your government is protecting pedophiles, a huge pedophile racket. It's been exposed many, many times. It should have been chased down by 60 Minutes on a weekly basis. It should have been chased down by the media on a nightly basis. It's not. The Woods Royal Commission should have been overturned. Over 2 million Aussies have signed petitions to our Prime Minister demanding that he overturn the Woods Commission report, and he hasn't done it. That's a 90-year suppression order put upon that report by another Christian Prime Minister, John Howard, which names current and former serving politicians as rapists of children. And you guys don't give a fuck. These people are raping children. Probably last night while I'm doing this fucking video, those politicians are raping children, and you don't give a fuck. You're too busy with your little life. Go and buy your bread and butter and your milk and have a game of golf. Who gives a fuck about the kids? Who cares about it? You say you care about kids, but no. Did you sign any of those petitions? Are you out in the street protesting? Have you noticed some of the signs, or many of the signs at these protests? They're all about pedophilia and the Woods Royal Commission. And you call these people right-wing extremists. Oh, selfish, ignorant, whatever. Now, you're the fucking ones who are selfish. You're the ones who are fucking ignorant. You're the ones that are protecting these people and not taking a chance to look into this. You're the ones that aren't protesting. You're the ones that should be demanding that your leaders, the people who are telling you to fucking inject yourself, those people should be overturning that. We should not have the people in power ruling and governing us. The raping of children. What a disgusting thing. And our leaders are involved in it and you don't care. Or even if you do, you're doing nothing. You know, I don't know how many emails I've sent off. I've got no idea. We're talking hundreds. I don't even know. I've lost count. You know, it's like I said to my mates yesterday. Until I see somebody in fucking handcuffs being led away, breaking news, Fauci being led away in handcuffs, or Morrison arrested or somebody, I'm not going to believe a thing I see or hear. Because this is just all fucking white noise, all shit, all distraction. We're the controlled opposition. Until these people are arrested and charged, nothing's going to change. Forget the passports, forget the jabs, forget everything. Until you root these people out of office, those who are protecting pedophiles, current serving pedophiles, former prime ministers and police commissioners, etc., and magistrates, the lot, who are all involved in the raping of children and protecting of those who are raping children. Until we get that out of our system, the world is operating on an evil basis, whether you like it or not. Now, I have many people who say they're enlightened, they're spiritual. Don't have to believe in God. I don't give a shit if you believe in God or not. That's your choice. I don't care if you believe that Pluto comes out Uranus. It doesn't bother me in the fucking slightest. At this moment, I'll take anybody to be, you know, an accomplice, a friend in this. I don't really care if you're jabbed, unjabbed. My door's always open. I don't really give a shit. You know, we're all in this together. Yeah. Woo. Yeah. They're not, but we are. At least I am trying my limited little best to do something. You know, it breaks my heart. It really breaks my heart to think that the worst possible scenario on this planet is the destruction of children's lives through sexual molestation by our leaders, and you fucking do nothing. You do what they tell you to do because you're a fuckwit. That's what you do. Oh, whatever you tell me. I'll wear 6 fucking masks. I'll distance myself from my family. I'll shut my fucking relatives out. I won't allow anybody in my shop or business. You comply from people who are raping children. They're mocking you. They're laughing at you. You make me sick. Absolutely sick to my fucking bones. You and your self-righteous little circles of fucking virtue. I got double vaccinated. I don't give a fuck if you got a double arse ring. I don't really care. The very thing that you should be looking at, you know, your punsy fucking photos of your food and your animals. I don't give a shit about that either. The very thing you should be caring about is humanity. Children who have no rights, no say, locked in houses, sweat houses all over Australia, being raped and murdered by fucking politicians, police commissioners, magistrates, people within pharmaceutical, medical, lawyers, fucking you name it. They're all involved in this. And you just think it's some big conspiracy theory. Yeah, right. Really? Release the papers from the Woods Royal Commission. And let's see how fucking conspiracy theorist it is. Release the papers from the Woods Royal Commission. That's me for the day.